How do you meet yourself when you're all alone? What do you do in moments of weakness when no one can see what you're up to? That will really show you who you really are. So, earlier this morning, I was waiting for someone to come onto a call, and I want to give you an example of this because this shows up in every aspect of your life. So, this person had booked a call to have a one-on-one with me this morning, and the person didn't show up. And so this is an example of, if you are looking to receive support and you make the time and commitment to yourself that yes, you want to go forward with support and you dedicate your time to do so, then you go through the process of receiving support. And what ends up happening here is that sometimes, most of the time, when we truly want to support ourselves, our ego gets in the way, self-sabotage creeps in. And in these moments, these are the moments that show us everything about how we are treating ourselves. So what happens if you don't keep your word to yourself in your life, in your business, in your career? How does that show up for you? What do you do? Do you start going on social media? Do you start drinking? Do you start eating junk food? This isn't the issue. What is the issue is actually how you then treat yourself afterwards. What happens? Do you end up feeling guilty for doing that? Do you end up beating yourself up? Do you play the blame game? All these emotions are here for you to explore. But in this scope, in this area, you are alone with yourself. You're dealing with your emotions in the best way that you can. And eventually, this leads to having chronic fatigue, having chronic illnesses. This leads to burnout, because what's happening here is that if you don't look at the emotions, if you don't look at what you're keeping behind closed doors, if you don't look at yourself in the mirror and you're always looking to external people or external circumstances or external things to fill an emotional need that you cannot fulfill yourself, you will always be running away from yourself. You will always be going in the opposite direction, and this makes you unfulfilled. It makes you feel empty inside, and it feels like you're stuck in this constant loop that you just can't get out of. And of course, one of the ways is to get support. But here is the breaking point. Getting support is not just about moving yourself out of the loop. This is about actually you meeting yourself. It's about actually asking yourself, am I open to receive? Am I really open to receive support? Because it's one thing asking for help, and it's another being open to receive and actually receiving it. Because when you receive support, you're actually taking responsibility for how you're treating yourself, what you've created, any addictions that you've become accustomed to, which have become a way of avoiding what you truly are feeling. So it's like an opportunity for you to meet yourself, to take better care of yourself, and to open up to what's really going on inside. It's like, why are you not treating yourself with kindness and respect? Why are you beating yourself up? And why is the shame so heavy? Why is the guilt so heavy? And you don't always need to go look into the why. But if you keep going in that constant loop and you're not looking at yourself and you're not seeing, okay, this is happening, okay, how can I be kind on myself today? How can I be kind in this moment, right here, right now? So I've been going through a period of up leveling and growth, and I've also been going inward because it is a little shaky, it is a little expansive, and I'm not beating myself up. I'm just witnessing. What can I do to support myself? How can I be extra kind on myself? And yes, there are moments of weakness, but what I've observed is that even in those moments of weaknesses, I find myself giving myself the love and the grace and the patience. I'm not beating myself up over the head, which is something that I used to do. I'm not running away. I'm just being there with myself. And this is what is really opening me up to my power, because I'm trusting the process and I'm being kind on myself. And these moments when you're being there for yourself or you're not being there for yourself, these moments where the doors are shut and no one can see you, what's really going on, these are the defining moments that actually can liberate you, or they can actually rattle you to the floor, and they can be your destruction. And these moments are here for you to truly meet yourself in ways you haven't even thought possible to meet yourself before. It's like you really get to see who are you. You get to really connect to you. You get to find peace with yourself. You get to value yourself, and you no longer feel afraid of who you are, because we're all human. We are not perfect human beings. There is no such thing. But there is a way that we can come home to ourselves, to love ourselves unconditionally for who we are right here, right now. And this is the place that I very much value in my own journey. This is a place where I love nothing more than to support and guide others too. So if you're feeling like you're in a real big struggle and you can't get out of it, and you feel like, yes, I'm open to receiving support. Yes, I want to meet myself. I want to face the fears. I want to face the challenges, because yes, it's about time. Then I invite you to book a transformational call and make a promise to yourself. Be the witness of your own transformation first. Keep the word to yourself, because it's everything. If you're not keeping that word to yourself, if you're not keeping any word to yourself, it will chip away at your self-esteem little by little. And before you know it, you just don't know who you are anymore. And I'm all about helping people rebuild the self-esteem in all areas of your life, but mostly in yourself. So when you build your self-esteem, you get connected to your whole self, to who you really are, and you feel at peace with yourself. It becomes less about other people, less about what everyone else is doing, the external circumstances, everything else on the outside, and it becomes everything to do with what's taking place on the inside. And how can you experience yourself? How can you be at peace? How can you love yourself as you are and come from the fullness of who you are, rather than from the lack? So that's my journey, and that's my invitation to you. If you feel called, if this is your time, let's take this journey together to your deepest, undeniably amazing power and beautiful soul.